Chris from MMA on here today with featherweight prospect Joshua Weems. He's coming off excellent victory at Gamebred Fighting Championships 1 last month. Joshua, how's it going today?
Doing good, man. Like I said, I just got done training. Actually did a seminar this morning with Israel Gomez. So been a good Saturday, man. Just kind of going to cook up some food and get ready for the fights tonight.
Awesome. What gym are you currently training out
of? Black Sails MMA.
Awesome. Yep. Who are some of the people that you train with and, just coach with over there?
Johnny Little, he's one of our head coaches. We got Randall Powell. He's our judo and jiu-jitsu coach. We got Jarrett Becks, Nick Jones, Dustin DePuma. Dustin DePuma is actually one of our pro fighters as well. We got Caleb Harris. He's one of the pro fighters, also does bare-knuckle fighting. We got Jonathan Jackson, James Horn. They're all pro fighters. We got some good amateurs in our gym as well. Judson Chastain, JD Jenkins, Robert Weems, my older brother. So a couple guys that are on the rise as well. And we, like today, we had a couple guys cross training from Relentless MMA. So we're always cross training South, trying to help the South. That's it, man.
Mm-hmm. And talking about cross training too, you've trained in multiple different sports, boxing, MMA, then bare knuckle, and then now you have Bareknuckle MMA. So when Jorge Masvidal first, went with that idea, what did you think of Bareknuckle MMA when you first heard about it?
I actually was super excited just because it's kind of the rawest form of fighting. If you think about it, I mean, if you're a martial artist and you're out and about and you need to protect your family, it's not like you're going to be able to say, hey, look, let me wrap my hands, let me throw my gloves on. So, I think testing yourself against an actual martial artist under the big lights kind of lets you know where you're at with your self-defense as well. Of course, there can be things that are thrown in the street that you're completely not used to. So it's obviously it's organized. But yeah, I told my manager, even when it was just in talks, that if that was anything that I could do, if I was, if they needed anybody for the card, to let me know, because I wanted to jump on it. Just being a part of the very first one was kind of being a part of history. So it was really cool. I was honored to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. And, obviously Jorge Masvidal is a promoter, but when you entered the second round with a flying knee, what was going through your mind? Like, did you plan that out before the fight, or did it just happen?
Yeah, actually, my previous fight, I tried the same thing at the beginning of the first round and put me in a good spot. And obviously it worked out for Jorge Masvidal. And plus, I just knew, doing something kind of flashy like that. And I was like, I did it in my first round of my fight before the one I just fought. So I was like, I'm not going to do it in the first round. I'm going to kind of let him, kind of maybe – I basically just wanted to see how it, started the fight out in the first, but I felt the energy for it in the second round. And I just figured it'd catch him off guard. And, worst case scenario, it would probably put me on the ground. Cause like I said, you jump into a flying knee, they have to bring their hands up. So when they bring their hands up, drop down into the takedown. So that's kind of what I did. I didn't really plan to do the takedown afterwards. It just kind of put me there. And plus the guy was a good striker. So, I mean, not that I'm not a good striker. I call myself more of a striker than anything, but if a guy is best on his feet, I'm going to try to take him out of his elements and maybe try to strike with him later in the fight. Which Ruelas didn't give me that option. I got, he was long and I got a little more tired than I wanted to in that fight. And I didn't really get to show my stand up and, just bits and pieces with the flying knee, the spinning back elbow type thing, but there wasn't a whole lot of highlights on the feet from me. So I got to be able to pull the trigger on in my next one.
And did you meet Jorge afterwards, after the knee? Did you have a conversation about it with him?
Well, I screamed over at him. If you see, I screamed. I was like, hey, man, I had to try it. That was for you, and afterwards, no, I didn't say anything about the knee. He actually, so cryptocurrency was sponsoring the event. They told us at the rules meeting, 3 fighters would get $5,000 rewards. So that was just extra. I didn't know they were giving a fight of the night, knockout of the night, submission of the night. So cryptocurrency would not pay for, they don't really fucking know fighting, because fight of the night is not really a finish. It's fight of the night is like the best fight, just whoever throws down. And Jorge Masvidal, he came with me personally and said, hey, you and Ruelas need that $5,000 a piece. He said, crypto is not paying unless it was a finish. And so he personally, gave me and Ruelas a separate bonus check. So it was nice. He showed some appreciation. And I think, that was probably fight of the night because I hit him with my best shots and he wouldn't go away. He had me in some very bad spots on the ground. And of course I'm not going out unless you're gonna have to either put me to sleep or, I guess you get the arm or the leg. Look, I'll tap. I ain't fighting that too long. I'll give my best defense, but I gotta come back to my family and be able to come back stronger. But I've always said, you get me in a compromising spot as far as a choke, I'm gonna fight that thing until I can't fight it no more. But that's what happened in the third round. He threatened me with a really good arm triangle. I know my defenses to it, and when he went to put the pressure towards the choke, I kind of went with it, but the blood loosened it up. So I couldn't really tell if it was the correct defense that got me out and or the blood, so it's probably a little bit of both. Because I had him pouring out of that, and it was like I tried an arm bar too. I wasn't getting that. He had like a super weird defense. Every time I tried to arm bar him, he stacked and kneed me in the ribs. I'd never had that ever, and I'm going to use that from now on. That was super. It's good. So I'm gonna take that away from Ruelas, and if I'm saying that last name right, I'm gonna definitely take that out of his book and add it to mine. So.
Smart. And then you guys fought to a split decision. How confident were you after the 3 rounds that you did enough to get the victory?
I wasn't confident at all. I didn't know. I was not going to be mad if they would have called it decision on his side. I knew in that third round, bro, like you see me go for like some guillotine. And I'm actually really good with guillotines, but in my right mind, I don't know why I was going for a guillotine when he's bloody, we're sweaty. If I go for it, I should have tried to, use it and, maybe use it to get off my, get up, take his back. And I sat back to try the guillotine after I'd done the spinning back elbow or whatever. And that ultimately, it was just, I had nothing left after that. I think he went into mount. That's when he threatened me with the arm triangle. I don't know. I literally didn't eat anything that day. No excuses. I was dealing with, I don't know, maybe it was back-to-back weight cuts because I'd fought 2 weeks before that too. Maybe that with the nervousness of wanting to put on a show for everybody and for Jorge Masvidal. And the guy was a good striker. And, fighters have fight day nerves, but I think I was dealing with it a little worse than ever because I tried to eat a couple of times that day. And like, I would damn near throw up every time. Like I actually threw up one time. So it just like, I couldn't, well, not like an actual, you know what I mean? Just kind of wouldn't go down type thing. I don't know. I had a lot of nerves, and that all went away in the back when I warmed up, but regardless, I didn't have anything. Like I went into that fight at 149. Whoever has missed weight at 149 pounds. So like he was well bigger than me that night, which, I'm used to going against bigger guys. It's not really that big of a deal, but with me not having the energy and fuel to go that full 15 minutes, I could definitely feel it in the third round. So just going to be working on conditioning, mastering the weight cut, and, just getting that wrestling better, because wrestling him is ultimately what probably got me a little more tired than I was used to.
Mm-hmm. And where were you when you got the call? Obviously, you fought 2 weeks prior to the event, but when you got the call from your manager that you were going to fight on Gamebred's undercard, like what was your reaction to all of this?
Oh, it was actually me who seen the opening. I seen the opening. I screenshotted it, sent it to my manager, and he was like, "Bro, you just fought. Is your hand fine?" And I was like, "Oh no, it wasn't my hand at the time. It was my foot." He just asked about my hand for another fight. I'm telling him like I need a break. But yeah, so we ended up hooking it up. The pay was right, and I just needed to jump right back into camp because it's like I think it was 13 days away whenever I got the phone call. But what was funny was I already had like a vacation planned for that Sunday. We were going to leave no matter what to Texas, and so like I was like, well, screw it, we'll just go get some vacation money and like I'm put on a show, just try not to go out there and just, basically my mindset was not to get cut open a bunch before vacation and try to get a good paycheck and show out. So more people can see my last name and get more followers type thing. But so yeah, we ended up doing the fight and we went to Texas and had a great trip. And I was limping around a little bit, got a jammed big toe from the fight, but that was literally it. I didn't get cut open or anything. So the fight went good, except for the way I finished it. I never like to go to the judges at all. I'm always, I've had like 2 fights ever go to the judge's decision. So.
Mm-hmm. Where in Texas did you guys go? Because I'm like right outside Dallas, actually.
Actually, Austin. It was our first time.
Nice.
Yeah. So we just did all the old, tourist stuff. Went to Barton Springs and went to what is that real big water park called Schlitterbahn?
Yeah, Schlitterbahn. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
one
we
over
went
there.
to that. Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was definitely the only other time I've been to Texas when I came to Dallas to the UFC fights. It was
UFC 228 or UFC 211.
Look, don't get me lying. 3 title fights one night when Joanna Jędrzejczyk
UFC 211. Wait,
Anthony
no,
Pettis lost.
UFC 185, I think. Yeah, Joanna got the belt from Carla. That was a great night of fights.
Yeah. Because like Matt Brown, Johnny Hendricks, Alistair Overeem fought Big Country, Roy Nelson. That was the most stacked card I've ever even seen. And then I got to see it live. It was nuts. But yeah, that was a great time in Dallas. But other than that, that was our second time actually getting to check out the area. So we're going to go back. Our my training partner, his mom owns like 4 properties around Austin. So we can just do the Airbnb and she hooks us up and we'll kind of we're gonna start coming at least once, twice a year. So
nice. Yeah, I'll definitely recommend San Antonio. San Antonio is awesome. The Riverwalk and then Alamo. There's just so much stuff to do over there as well.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so with with this bare-knuckle MMA win, does that go towards your official MMA record, or is that kind of separate?
It is. It goes to the MMA record. Dean Toole, my manager, they all double checked that beforehand because that was another thing. I was 8-1 before that, and it was like if it was going to add to my MMA record and make it look that much better, getting that shot to UFC or Bellator or ONE FC. Then whatever, and so that's why we went ahead and ultimately did it because it did count to my MMA goal. They haven't fixed it on Tapology. I don't know what's up with that, but it's all good. Tapology freaking sucks if you ask me. But they need to update their stuff more. They don't have a couple of my fights on there. They don't have they got my boxing losses on my MMA thing. I don't know. To me, it's kind of clownish, but it's a way for people to keep up with you, so it's all good. Yeah, I had one of my buddies actually who's in town today. He's like, did you even have any amateur fights? I'm like, yeah, man, I had 8 amateur fights. So
yeah, I think Tapology only has 1, so yeah, they need to update that for sure.
And that's my one loss, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have fought 1 amateur fight, lost, and then go pro? Right, so
yeah,
because I have old friends who always look me up and stuff, and they're always like, they'll ask me little things like, how many fights do you have? It says you only have 9. I'm like, I've had over 20 fights. So but yeah, man, we're growing in Mississippi, man. We're different teams are trying to reach out to different teams and trying to leg lockers, getting with the gyms that are kind of behind on that. Leg locks are kind of the new jiu-jitsu, just all the inverted stuff, and we're really catching on, and we watch a lot of Danaher stuff. We're always looking to evolve. We watch MMA guys go over to boxing, and we actually break down why they lose. They don't have fast hands. They don't have fast feet. They're looking for the one punch, boom, power, shots. It's like, dude, you got to watch these boxers. They run miles and miles. They have leg conditioning. They have in and out movements. It's a whole different ballgame. When MMA guys want to go over to boxing, they need to really put more time into boxing before they do that. Because that's what was my fault. I was so gung ho. My first boxing match was against Roy Jones Jr.'s guy from Sweden, Shady Kamhauer. He's like 13-0 as a pro right now. He was 11-0 when I fought him on a 2-day notice. That's how dumb I was. And he had 20 pounds on me. But that's just the MMA fighter who's confident. He's like, I box. I'm good with my hands. No, dude, it's a different world, and they got to know that, and they got to start to evolve with that. And I think they're showing us that by getting these bullshit MMA fighters coming over and get knocked out. Not saying like Conor or anything like that. Conor's a great fighter. I'm talking about just like you see it in the local promotions. We have local box promotions hit me up all the time. Like, hey, you got any MMA guys? Like, no, dude, we don't have any sheep to throw to your wolves. Get out of here. Give us with an 8-week camp, and then I'll fight your guy. But they all, like my second boxing match, they hit me up on a 2-week notice, and I was like, well, fuck it. What's up, man? I didn't learn my lesson from the first one. This kid been boxing since he was 2. His Tapology boxing rec showed 2 fights. Well, he went to Junior Olympics. They don't show that online. He had 22 fights in the Junior Olympics, had 1 loss. So it was one of those things where, you kind of get out there and you learn. But from those losses, if you don't have the team to help you grow from it, break down why you lost, or not just, oh, your hands weren't up, dude. Like, no, dude, that's not why. My legs got tired. I wasn't working enough footwork drills, jump rope, and like boxers do. You got to incorporate every sport into MMA because it's MMA. You can't just work on, let's just work on MMA. Like, no, you got to put the hours in what boxers do. You got to put the hours in what judo guys do. You got to put the hours in what wrestling guys do, jiu-jitsu. So, and that's when you start to transform it all together, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I believe you're on like a 7 to 8 fight winning streak right now. And with a big win at Gamebred, do you think you could get that UFC call next, or do you think it might take some time and take some phone calls to make that happen?
So I'm with probably the best management company out there. First Round Management, same one as Jorge Masvidal. John Jones started with him. Demetrius Johnson, Jesse James Wallace is my manager. Whenever Sean O'Malley, his opponent backed out, he called me. He said, "Can you make 35?" I started cutting weight immediately. I cut like 4.5 pounds. They said that they gave it to some other guy, which is the Chris Mutani, whatever his name is. And dude, like, came forward, fought hard. Respect to that guy. But my name was in the loop, so that tells me that I'm not too far away. And honestly, I got another little Bellator opportunity, but I didn't answer quick enough. I was at the beach on vacation just a couple of days ago, and regardless, we didn't give a quick enough answer, and they moved on. But so it'll either come with a short notice call, or I'll have to go and probably fight through LFA and whoop one of them guys, and then go to. But if I do it that way, I'll probably get a 3-fight contract. So I'll probably rather do that. I'd rather go fight LFA, just test myself there. But I'm okay with the short notice as well, because I'm always in the gym. I'm always learning. I'm confident. So if that would have been me against Sean O'Malley, don't care. Regardless of how it went, I was going to come out and I was going to do what I normally do, and that's perform. Whether it was bits and pieces because of the weight cut, and I wasn't ready for it because it was a 2-week thing or 10-day thing, but it didn't matter. I was, I'm always the kind of person that's going to come forward and fight no matter what, win, lose, draw. I'm going to come out and fight. But yeah, so I'm just staying in shape, staying ready in case the short notice call does come. That way I can jump on it. If it doesn't, ideally, if I had a set date, it would be like December, like maybe like 1st of December. I could jump back into like an actual hard camp in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Really just work on cleaning up some things, getting a little bit more muscle mass. Like I said, mainly cleaning up things, like cleaning up the wrestling, cleaning up jiu-jitsu a little bit more, mixing up some things. And then, start my 8 to 10 week camp for whatever, LFA or Bellator, whatever. I'm cool with literally any of them. If they call me and they say, "Look, we got this weekend. If I can make the weight, I'm gonna freaking fight." I mean, I'm at the point where a loss isn't gonna kill me as long as I get out in front of the big stage and test myself, and I test that person. Because no matter what, like all these people, they think, "Oh, Sean O'Malley, oh this, oh that," until you go into the gym with them and you realize they're freaking human, and their chin can be tested and their heart can be tested, and all just like yours. So it's all comes down to that mental focus, mental toughness, and who's in better shape, who's the smarter fighter, But yeah, man, I'm just kind of, I would like to be more like December fighting, but if something pops up beforehand, I'm going to be in shape and be ready for the opportunity.
Do you think the content, like with your name already in the loop, if your name already in the hats, would you like to be on the Contender Series maybe like later this fall?
That would be awesome. That would be another, for sure, towards the end of the year. My manager said I was on the little list for it. So yeah,
that's awesome.
If they tell me 2 weeks, dude, you can go, fly to Vegas or whatever and go. Yeah, I'm jumping on it. Like I said, right now I'm kind of just trying to give my body a little bit of like less impact, like from like hard, like wrestling, hard, whatever, just more drilling time is what I'm trying to do. But it's kind of hard because we got all these fighters, got fights coming up, you know what I mean? So we're always, you know, in the gym helping them. So then you know, just really just trying to get healthy and just learn some more before I take another big fight. And that's just it, man.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that you're not too active on social media, like your Instagram. I don't think you've posted in a little bit. Why is that? Like, have you just been like hesitant to build your brand on there?
Bro, I just suck at it, man. It was bad. Like I literally, I couldn't figure out how to get my email to work to even get on the phone with you. I'm bad with technology, dude. Look, if I can find somebody I trusted that wanted to run my stuff, like, man, I'd give them all access and I'd pay them monthly, man. Like, I freaking hate it with a passion. I'd send them videos, I can send them pictures, you know, whatever, and they just come, you know, do you know, they do the whole posting thing. I know that I could have a lot bigger following if I tried, and I'm just not good at it, man. I'm like, well, I'll run a paint business. I own a paint business, and so I'm not putting as many hours into that as I am training. That's for damn sure. I train more than I'm mainly now the past, I'd say about 3 months, I'm maybe putting in about 3 hours a day painting, you know, mainly setting up jobs for my guys. And the rest of the time is me training. You know, I get morning time jiu-jitsu, go lift, whatever, and then I do my cardio and all that crap at night. So yeah, it's a full-time job for me. So it's hard for me to just get on social media always just posting. And my buddy Dan over here, he's one of the fighters, he's fighting in a couple of weeks. He made fun of me earlier, like, man, you got to get better at this, dude, you know. It's bad. So but actually most of the people on our team is bad with that. We have one guy that's pretty good with followers, and that's the bare-knuckle guy, Caleb Harris. So
awesome. And you know, just speaking about marketability, I believe your nickname is Wide Open. Like, what's the story behind that? Were you like a receiver in like football, like in high school, or like what's the story behind that?
So James Horn, and really it was Jonathan Jackson. It just like I always start real fast. I'm always like a fast starter, and in the South, that's one of the things they say, like, boy, that boy right there is wide open. You know what I mean? Whatever. So like it stuck. They were like, you know, and plus if you meet me, I'm 1,000 miles an hour, everything I do, dude. Like I'm always going. Like the team made fun of me last night because I drove in, you know, 5 hours in a car, and then like they wanted me to come in and help them out with rounds. Well, I was dead tired. Like I took my caffeine late, and so like I get to the gym and they're all like just got done with our striking seminar, and I missed that. So like I'm just energized for days, and they're like, man, I don't even want to do rounds. This guy right here is just like I'm messing around with them all the time. You know, maybe fainting kicks, maybe, you know, I'm just a playful guy. I had a kid when I was 15, man. So I'm still a kid at heart, you know. So that's probably why they call me Wide Open.
Gotcha. And you know, you're one of the brightest prospects on the regional scene. But if you had to send a message to your future self, yeah, and it's likely, you know, you in the UFC, God willingly. But what would you say? What would your message be to your future self inside the UFC?
That's a good question. I would have to say, man, remember where you came from, man. Remember what team got you to that platform, and never take it for granted, and really put that time into the other young fighters that are, you know, maybe coming up as well, maybe looking up to you or whatever. Just really just about remembering where you came from and stay grinding harder than ever. Just because you make it to the UFC, to me, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. If I have a 3-fight contract and they write me another one, that's not good enough. If I make it to top 10, that's not good enough. I want to be a title holder one day, whether it's Bellator, UFC. I don't care. I don't care if I get knocked out 3 times. I don't care if I get submitted 3 times. I don't care if I get out decisioned to Khabib for 5 rounds. I don't care. I want to have the mindset to come back like the champion, like Dustin Poirier does. Doesn't matter what happens to him. He always comes back, and he comes back stronger. I think that's what makes a real champion, not the champions that go undefeated, which is freaking awesome. You're a stud. But like the mental aspect of like, because not every fight's going to go your way, you know? So I'd say just staying mentally mentally sharp, grinding, and remembering where you came from, man.
Awesome. You just cut like a heck of a promo right there. And I think we should end it with that. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching?
Man, I apologize with the whole social media thing. I'm going to try to do better with that, and I'll try to be a little more active. So I apologize to everybody for that. But just know that just because I'm not on social media does not mean I'm not putting in the work. I come and I fight every time. And to be honest, as cliche as it sounds, it's true. If you're a fighter, you know it's true. The fans, like, bro, that's half of the getting up in the morning, making sure you hit that run when you're tired, making sure you push through those extra reps. Your family's going to be there no matter what. Your family's going to be there no matter what. Your loved one's going to be there no matter what. But the fans who don't really know you, but they just look up to you and they see what you're doing, I think that's really the difference.
Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for the time, Joshua, and we hope to see you in the UFC very soon.
Hey, man, I hope so too, and I appreciate your time, man.